Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Exotic and I got 5 tips today to help you get better with sniping in Cold War. Tip number 5 is your attachments. Unfortunately, in this year's Call of Duty, you gotta make sure a lot of your attachments are unlocked, or most of your weapons are max level. A lot of the attachments that you unlock at around level 55 to 53 are the best in slot attachments for these guns. But lucky for you, I'm not going to leave you just with that. I have early game builds for both the Pellington and the LW3. Not a lot of people talk about early game builds because they hype up all the in-game attachments. Typically I'm running a suppressor on my Pellington, but I do like to switch to the stabilizer. I do recommend the suppressor if you are completely new or you want to get better with the specific Cold War sniping mechanics and you don't want to miss shots. You typically miss shots. You don't really want to miss too many shots in this game, because if you do, snipers are so loud and they're really lacking this year that you don't want the whole entire map turning around looking at you while you're trying to re-aim and get that second shot off. I'm also running the Tiger Team barrel on my Pellington. A good early game to mid-game build is the 25-inch extended barrel if you just picked up the sniper, or you can use the combat recon barrel. It does give you a whole lot of bullet velocity, and bullet velocity is good. You want as much bullet velocity as you possibly can to make sure your shots hit your target as soon as possible, so it doesn't feel like you have ghost bullets or anything like that. It does decrease idle sway quite a bit. That's why I said the stabilizer is pretty good. If you cannot handle the idle sway whatsoever, you can slap on the stabilizer and it'll decrease the idle sway just a little bit, but you'll still have some pretty noticeable sway. Next is a 7-round mag. Most of the magazines on the Pellington kind of mess up the ADS and you don't really want that, so I just recommend staying with the 7-round mag. Good early game start is the speed tape for the grip, plus 5 ADS. You want as much ADS speed as you possibly can. The Pellington is number 1 in the aggressive sniper slot this time around. Mid-game build, you can also use the jungle grip. It does have 8% aim down sight speed and 80% flinch resistance and -12 sprint to fire time, but we do have other attachments to fix that sprint to fire time. Of course, the in-game maxed out build is the elastic wrap with all the pros and a couple negatives that we really wouldn't be worried about. Shooting move speed, shouldn't be moving while you're ADSing anyway, and sprint to fire speed is negative. Like I said, we do have attachments to get our sprint to fire speed back. Good early build for the stock is the CQB pad. We have that 10% sprint to fire time. Sprint to fire time is pretty necessary. Should be running around. This is a rushy Call of Duty now as opposed to Modern Warfare. It's a whole lot more fast paced, so you need that ADS after sprinting as quick as you possibly can, quicker than the other person that you're shooting at. Mid or late game for the stock, what I like to use is the marathon stock. It gives me just a good chunk of sprint to fire time, hip fire accuracy. I'm not really going for a lot of no scopes. I do hit no scopes with this class, so it is possible, but you have to be pretty accurate with it. If you are, however, going for no scopes, you can switch this off with the steady aim laser, and that gives you pretty much 30% hip fire accuracy. The only reason why I say steady aim laser is because, once again, it is an early game build. You can get the steady aim laser quite quickly in the levels of this gun, and it doesn't give the drawbacks. The drawbacks are typically negative to 80 aim down sight speed and all that. You don't really want that. The spotlight's pretty good, but everything else is negative to things you don't want a negative in, so I would just stay at the steady aim laser. For the LW3, it's pretty much the same suppressor or stabilizer to decrease that idle sway. The Tiger Team barrel, or any barrel with plus bullet velocity for an early game build. Slap on a laser just in case you want those hip fire kills and those no scopes. 7-round magazine, -10 to reload quickness, but you still can keep your ADS speed. We got the speed tape or the jungle grip for early to mid game build with ADS, and last but not least, the elastic wrap for the in-game maxed out build. and the marathon stock for the sprint to fire time. The LW3 is one of the slower snipers in the game, but it's still faster than the Barrett 50 cal or whatever this game calls it this time. It is pretty slow, but it's actually pretty consistent once you get most of the attachments and you get used to it. It's actually pretty fun outgunning people with a slow cannon. Still working on the 50 cal myself, so that's it's a pretty colorful experience. We're gonna move into tip number 4 in the shooting range. Alrighty, welcome back. We're here on the shooting range in the training ground to more further explain tip number 4. And tip number 4 is the white dot in the middle of your screen. Your best friend, your ride or die, your wingman, your best man in securing these kills in Black Ops this year. This white dot honestly is the best thing for any rig gunners or snipers in Cold War, because it will tell you exactly where you're going to aim before you even know where you're gonna aim. And if you know what this white dot is, it is a very hard for you to miss a shot in this game, because you already know where you're gonna aim before the person on the other end knows where they're gonna aim, especially if they don't know about this white dot or what it does for you. That was my opinion from all my experience. I believe that your eyesight should be on this white dot at least a good 90 to 80% of the time while you're running around and trying to secure your kills with your sniper. Positioning of this white dot is completely imperative, and as I run around, pay very close attention to where I choose to position the white dot before I make my shot. My white dot is at least on the person's chest, if not on their head, before I ADS or even think about pulling the trigger. Now, with approaching corners or approaching multiple laned corners, you're going to want to pay attention to several things. So, let me ask you a question. When approaching a corner, where should your eyes be positioned as opposed to the white dot? You said your eyes should be positioned at the corner that you were approaching. You are half right. You're almost there. When you're approaching a corner that has multiple lanes, like this, you have 3 entryways into where you are. You have the middle corridor, you have the right door, and you have that container over there. If you have a high FOV in this Call of Duty, you can actually do that on console instead of just PC. You can see a lot more of the corridors than you normally would with a regular console. When you're coming up on this corridor, you want to put the dot where you expect people to normally come from. They have to pass this middle corridor before they get to the right if they choose to go that far. But typically they come out of here if they see someone or they're going to see you sprinting at them. So you want to position the dot at least there, about a good inch or so away from the left hand side corner. If you're approaching from the right, put it on your right. If you're approaching to the left, put it on the left. While you're running by and you're approaching said corner, your eyes want to be going back and forth between here and there. Reasons because someone could be sitting in the corner, reloading, calling in their streaks, doing whatever they're doing, and they pop around this corner. If your eyes are already positioned here and your dot is there, you will already have a second to react and take him out before he kills you. Same situation with the container over here. Container here can run straight out and you have a full view here in this corner. Hello, sir. Tip number 3 this time around. Not a lot of people talk about this. I guess it's just a dropped thing because apparently they assume everyone know about this. But if you're using a sniper, you're quickscoping in this game, you 100% have to take your time. You can't just go around and do the whole crazy thing. I'm doing that because for the most part, I'm used to it. When this game first started, the only thing I used is a sniper, so I kind of got acclimated towards it a lot quicker than your average human. But we're talking on behalf of the average human here that doesn't really know much about it. So you have to take your time and make sure your shot is on before you pull the trigger. Fun note, Have you ever been sniping in this game and you feel like you have been quickscoping and making shots, but it hasn't quite landed yet? The reason for that, because they don't allow pop shots in this game. You can't just slightly scope in just a little bit and did you go? Okay. Can't just slightly scope in just a little bit and hope that your bullet will go straight. That's just not possible. As a quick demonstration, I'm going to show you what it looks like when your shot is accurate and you're completely ADSing, as opposed to when you try to slightly ADS. If you're fully ADS'd in, your bullet will go straight 100% of the time. Never miss. Be good. Look at that. Perfectly straight. Same time, every time. Now, it gets a little crazy. Oh, you cut the corner, someone's shooting at you, and I thought I got him. Oh shit. Oh. What do you do?
Enemy counter spy plane inbound.
See all that? None of those are straight. None of them. So, ever felt like you may have hit someone, or you know for a fact they're in your crosshair? They are. They definitely are. It's not you. It's not that you suck. It's not that the game is broke. It's just how the system is. You can't make pop shots. You can't do the fast, quick, blindingly fast thing, last second push to get a kill anymore. You have to make sure your sights are 100% steady on your target before you pull the trigger to make your bullet 100% straight 150% of the time. Lastly, it is more important in this Call of Duty to make sure your feet are not moving while you are sniping. It makes your shot just a little more accurate after making sure your shot is completely ADS. What I mean by that is, a lot of people back in the day used to say, oh, while you're sniping, you don't want to move. You don't want to move side to side. That's for SMGs and ARs. Hold on. Aren't I supposed to make me a harder target to hit while I'm running around? Very true. But the shining thing of snipers are, you're supposed to make that shot way before your target even has a chance to get a few shots off on you. And as you can already see, chest shots don't 100% kill in this game. So you have to be ready. As you're moving around as a learning experience, as you're first doing your thing, maybe it'll help if you tell yourself to not touch your left analog stick at all while you're moving around. So while you're scoping in and you're getting your kills, before you ADS, tell yourself, don't touch the left thumbstick. Don't touch the left thumbstick. And keep doing that over and over again. It helps you understand that you need to stop moving. It does not help. Yes, maybe you can get lucky. Maybe you can secure a kill while you're strafing to the left or strafing to the right or whatever. But at the end of the day, if you need an accurate shot and you're still moving your feet, it's gonna seem like your bullet is going out of the side of your barrel and not straight like it should be. Similar to what I was doing earlier with the pop shots. It's not gonna go straight. It's gonna seem like your character is jiggling your gun while you're shooting, and it's gonna look weird and it's gonna feel bad. None of that feels good. So stop moving your feet, keep very still, get that accurate shot, and make sure you are completely ADS'd before you take the shot. Tip number 2, your settings. Make sure your settings is 100% catered towards you as a personal individual. My settings are catered towards me, but keep in mind, this is a new game and it hasn't even hit season 1 yet, so it's very likely that these settings are going to change in the future. But so far, my stick sensitivity, horizontal and vertical, are both 7. What I recommend with the sensitivity is if you played a lot of Modern Warfare and you had a set sensitivity there, whether it be 10, 20, whatever. Half that by 5, or at least 6, and start from there. At a 10 sensitivity in Modern Warfare, so I started at a 10, brought it back down to 5, played for a little while, and tweaked it after that. This is a different game, and it feels vastly different, so you're going to kind of have to get used to it once again, and that helped me get a better understanding of where my sensitivity needed to be in this Call of Duty. ADS low zoom and high zoom sensitivity, mine is at an 09, almost 1, slightly slower than a 7 sensitivity. My high zoom sensitivity is 1.1, so I can get those very small adjustments when I need to. Not complete drag scopes, but those little small tweaks helps me a little more. Fortunately, colorblind assist does nothing like it does in Modern Warfare. It does not change the game. It doesn't make the game no brighter. It doesn't make the game more colorful like Funtime Fruit Loops. But if you do have a colorblind issue, then you can use these, and they are a lot more customizable than they used to be in Modern Warfare. My field of view right now is a 105. If you're playing on console, you're playing on PC, you have to make sure your field of view is at least 105 or 110 to start with. If you have a bigger TV or you sit further away from your TV, I would recommend at least putting your sensitivity to 90. It's 10 FOV higher than the standard console FOV. So you at least have some sort of an advantage while you're running around and you're doing things. That lady was loud, sorry. Someone who does not have a high field of view will have an extreme disadvantage in this game. FOV is a new setting for console players now in this Call of Duty. Been in other games, but it's new for Call of Duty for console players. PC, huge advantage. Console, we have it now, you might as well use it. ADS field of view, affected or independent. That is 100% catered towards you. Do you want your aim to be affected by your FOV, or you want it to be independent on its own? It's completely up to you. I have mine affected, it just looks better. My final tip, and tip number 1, training. You must train yourself. Yes, you have to go through training just like everyone else. Luckily, in every single Call of Duty we have an amazing custom games, so we can go in and just shoot random bots, get killed 150 times, and not have to worry about your KD. Another thing, completely forget about your KD. KD is not important right now, especially if it's a learning experience for you. These custom games will help you majority of the time. Believe it or not, most of the pros that you see playing these games, or these sniper gods that run around and make snipers look completely easy to use, but yet when you use a sniper, it's like shooting thumbtacks. That's because they spend most of their time in custom games. It's two sides of the same coin. Either you don't spend no time in custom games and you're just naturally a god at the game, but that's not everybody. Or you spend just the same amount of time in custom games as you do public games, and you have time to refine your skills as a sniper or just with a regular weapon. When I say forget about your KD, this is a learning experience. If you have no experience with a sniper, or you're trying to run around in quickscope and it's a completely different playstyle for you, and normally you have an SMG and you're running around rushing, being crazy, being up in people's faces using shotguns, yeah, it's a very, very different experience. You don't have an automatic weapon to clean up your shots no more. You have a one-time shot weapon. So if you miss, and everyone turns around and looks at you and wonders why you're standing there crying while you're reloading a bullet, yeah, it's a little jarring. So while you're getting used to this type of playstyle, your KD is going to tank. It's going to look very bad. The good news is how Call of Duty is structured now, with crazy skill-based matchmaking, and they're going to always put you with people of your same skill level. It's a little bit of an advantage that at some point you're going to get a little less skilled players, because the game is going to be like, hey, it kind of sucked now. I don't know what happened, but we're going to put you with a little more fair or people this time around. It's not the truth, but it does happen. Now, as a disclaimer, this is not me telling you to go reverse boosts and completely kill your KD just so you can mop the floor with people that don't have thumbs. This is just a victim of circumstance. This is just what inevitably is going to happen when you're learning something new. Getting used to it, everyone else is going to stomp you with pre-nerfed MP5s and completely outrageous M16s. That's just going to happen. But if you can get over that and master your craft as it is, then you'll be a whole lot better for it and you can get your KD back. If you're planning on a long play session, jump into a custom game for about maybe 20-30 minutes. Turn it to free-for-all. Make sure the map rotation is on constant, or the mini-map is on constant, so you know where everyone is, so you're not completely guessing, so you can run where the action is and keep the flow going. Do that for about 20 to 30 minutes. Keep your flow. If you're missing shots or you find yourself getting killed, slow your pace down. Slow it down a little bit. Make your shots more often, and then ramp it up. Keep on doing that for a little while because you need repetition. You need to keep doing something over and over and over again. I'm sure you've heard that from somewhere or heard someone say that over and over again. You need repetition to build muscle memory. Repetition will allow you to do things without even having to think about it. And all those people that get these crazy clips where it's 4 mans, 5 mans, and they sorta freak out, or they're just like, oh, I got a 5-man, bro. It's crazy. Because they're used to it. They have that muscle memory. They have that repetition. Your brain and your hands are going to know what to do. It takes per se about a good month or so. It's scientifically proven around a month or so, but it's completely different from each individual in the world. That is scientifically proven that it takes that for something to become repetitive, for something to become second nature, for your brain to be used to everything. It needs to be used to how far you need to aim to correct a shot. It needs to know how far you need to run, how much you need to stop, all that stuff. And your hands will know exactly what they need to do. Your eyes just need to be on par after that. One last thing. This isn't so much of a tip, more as a secret. Been playing for quite a while and been seeing this attachment on snipers. And it looks very similar to an attachment from Black Ops 2. You're having issues looking or seeing people at a distance. And if you remember the rangefinder from Black Ops 2, that cheesy weapon that basically told you where everyone was on the map, this pretty much is a rangefinder for snipers. And it may or may be just a little faster with ADS than the regular Pellington. Now, what do I mean real quick? See that person right there? You can't really see them. If you're running around and spinning around and turning and trying to do all that, if you aim, you don't even have to aim at them. You can aim by them, and you will see their name 100% of the time. Without this gun, without the attachment, you would have to aim exactly at them to see their name. But you just have to aim in the general direction, and as long as someone runs past that circle, look at that. I wouldn't have seen her no other way. That is 100% perfect. The most best demonstration. That lined up perfectly for the game. I don't know about this attachment. In the right hands, this might actually be a pretty revolutionary attachment. But that about wraps it up. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, consider dropping a like before you head out. And if you are new, you want to keep up with everything Cold War and other things sometimes, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to know every time I post a video, hit the bell notification and turn it to personal, so you never miss out on anything, because YouTube is weird nowadays. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace out.